This conference will now be recorded.
Yep. So good morning, everyone. Yep. Welcome to PEGA trainings. So this is Chandra, and I have 10 years of PEGA experience and 5 years of training experience. Okay, and I'm still working in very big company, and so that I can give you the best real-time scenarios every time, which will be helpful for you in every aspect. Maybe in terms of your interviews, or maybe in terms of like real-time exposure, whatever it is. Okay, fine. So let's get started. Okay, fine. So before starting like our session, you'll be having multiple questions in your mind. So maybe you people might be from different backgrounds. So some people might be like non-BTech, and some people might be from non-computer background, and some people maybe if they're working in IT, maybe in other streams like testing, mainframes, whatever it is. So you people came here to learn something about PEGA. So before this, you'll be having multiple questions in your mind like what is PEGA? Okay, what is PEGA and how the salaries will be? And maybe if we choose PEGA today, for how many years we can survive in the industry? So how the opportunities will be in India, maybe in Western countries, maybe in other countries, how it will be? And what about PEGA certifications? Maybe if you're having long career gap, so are you eligible for this PEGA option or not? Okay, so maybe out of this recession, how far it will be helpful for us? So you'll be having multiple questions in your mind, and we'll try to sort out each and every question maybe in this session. Okay, so now let's start with something like what is PEGA? Okay, fine. So the simple answer for this is PEGA is used for developing web applications. So generally web application is nothing new for us. So maybe you know multiple web applications. So most of you will be knowing like something Amazon as one web application, Flipkart, okay, Facebook, all these are like web applications only. Maybe if you are using Facebook application, then we know it will be having something like front end to be designed, right? Suppose if you just hit like facebook.com, then you should be launched with one page where you will be seeing some extra styles, and it will be asking something like username and password. Likewise, maybe if you enter username and password, what it has to do, it has to be checking with its database table, and according to that it has to be proceeding with next screens, right? So what are we understanding? For one web application, it might be whatever it is. For every web application there should be front end design, am I correct? And there should be equally like back-end logic also. So it might be developed with Java, or it might be developed with PEGA or .NET, whatever it is. Every web application should be having like front-end design, and maybe like back-end design, and even like database design. So this whole constitute kind of one application. So now with PEGA, we are trying to implement complete web application, which includes front end, back end, database part also. Okay. So we know every application should be having like front end layer. So generally front end layer will be using with HTML and CSS, generally everywhere same. And for scripting, in some projects there might be JavaScript, and in some projects there might be jQuery or React, whatever it is. So this whole comes under kind of front end design. Okay, you take any application, Facebook application or Flipkart application or IRCTC, whatever. For every application, front end design will be having same technologies. Maybe for such application, backend might be Java, or sometimes it might be .NET, or in some projects it might be Python, and in some projects it might be C Sharp, and in some projects it might be PEGA, whatever it is. Okay, so for every application, backend logic should be with either of these technologies. And 100% whatever the web application we create now, it should be having database. Maybe if you are working with Facebook project, 100% backend database should be there. If it is like .NET project, whatever it is, so every project should be having like even database part also. So finally what I mean to say here is, just to design one web application, so we have to generally know front end technologies, and we have to learn something like back end technologies, and we have to learn something like database part also. So this whole will be completely kind of full stack development. So Vinara, full stack development. So full stack development meaning you as a developer you have to take care of front end design, you have to take care of back end design and even database part also. But here with this PEGA, complete all these got completely automated. So PEGA is a tool where all the front end technologies are inbuilt and Java part, that is backend part also inbuilt, and even database part also inbuilt. So if I wanted to design one web application today with PEGA, you need not understand what is like front end design also, and you don't understand something about like backend also. You don't require anything even about like database. Without you knowing anything about these three layers, you can simply create one web application using PEGA. So this is the biggest advantage. Maybe if I'm trying to design with some application about Amazon, so you should be designing front end part, right? So you have to design front end part, and there should be separate team to design back end part and separate team to design database part. Okay, so here if I am a front end developer, I might not know how to work with Java and I might not know how to work with database. And similarly, if I'm a person, if I'm a developer like database developer, and I might not understand how to work with Java and how to work with front end. But here in PEGA, as I told you, UI part is completely automated, backend part, Java, database part also. Okay, so in interviews, no one will ask you questions on any of this. Maybe if I'm the PEGA interviewer, if you are coming for an interview, maybe like 3 years experienced. Okay, so we'll not ask any question related to JavaScript. We'll not ask any question related to HTML or CSS. We'll not ask any question related to backend part or even database part. So we'll be just asking you how to implement this requirement. Maybe if I ask you a question something like how do you implement email sending from PEGA? So you have to answer in that way. You don't require any kind of coding in this prospect too. So finally, PEGA is one automated tool where complete front end, complete business logic, and complete database part is inbuilt. Okay, so we are getting one question like what is PEGA? So here PEGA is having all the front end technologies automated. So front end meaning every project will be using HTML only. Every project will be using HTML. Suppose Facebook application might be developed with Java, and maybe Amazon application might be developed with the .NET, and something other application Flipkart might be with Python, whatever. So even if it is like backend technology is different, so everywhere we'll be seeing front end screens, right? So front end screens for every application will be done with HTML only. HTML is one common language which will be understandable by every backend technology. Okay, similarly, for the application, whatever we are designing with PEGA, front end will be having HTML and it will be having latest HTML features, that is HTML5. So PEGA is automated with HTML5 features and it is included with latest styles also, that is CSS3 and JavaScripting part is also inbuilt. So this is front end, and we know this is completely developed, maybe this is completely automated in terms of backend also. So PEGA is a tool which is developed on Java based. So this is completely developed on Java based. Okay, so if any tool, if it is developed with Java, it will be robust in the sense in every platform it will work, every platform it will work. So consider one more tool kind of OutSystems. So did everyone came across this word? OutSystems is also one of the tool like PEGA. So this OutSystems is completely developed based on .NET. Okay, based on .NET. But .NET related tools are not that widely used. Since this is developed on Java, so this is having like more usage. Okay, so PEGA is one automated tool based on Java. but you don't require any Java coding knowledge. No one will ask you to write any Java coding here. Okay, fine. So without you knowing front end, without you knowing anything about Java, you can build one application. And this application has to store some content, right? Meaning this application should be connected to some database part. Some database part meaning this application can be connected using Oracle. Same application can be connected using SQL. Same thing can be connected using Microsoft SQL, whatever it is. So our PEGA application supports any kind of database environment. Okay, fine. So finally, every part starting from front end to even database part is completely included in this PEGA. So this is an automated tool where it is having like latest HTML5 features, and completely Java part is also included. So to design any part of front end, we'll simply drag and drop the things. Okay, if I wanted to show an image, drag and drop. If you wanted to show a video, drag and drop. Accordingly, we'll be designing this complete application. So consider this as our web page to be implemented. Maybe today you'll join one company. After learning everything about PEGA, what you will do? So maybe you'll try to apply like 3 years of experience or 4 years of experience. Then you will try to join one company, right? So after you joining company, your client, they'll be giving you requirements. So they might ask you to design the screen number one. So this might be such sample web page. So if they're asking you to design the screen number one, you have to first analyze the things. So you should understand that there is one image showing up where it is occupying 20 percentage space, maybe one video occupying 20 percentage space, and remaining 80 percentage space should be having like form kind of, where within which this is like 50 percentage of the remaining space. Am I correct? This is 50 percentage of the remaining space. Okay, so you have to first analyze this complete screen. So this we technically call as mock-up. So your business analyst, they will be just giving you mock-up, what we generally call like screenshot. They will call it like mock-up. So after you checking for mock-up, you have to first understand how the UI part is, how the percentages, how the colors, styles, everything you have to clearly understand. Then maybe to design this in traditional technologies. Suppose if I'm not using PEGA, if I wanted to get this design, maybe we may take 2 days time. But in PEGA, it will not take more than 2 hours. It will not take more than 2 hours. We'll simply drag and drop. That's it. So we have to create an image, drag and drop somewhere here. So drag and drop one video here. Maybe drag and drop first name, drag and drop last name. Okay, so front end part is to be completely done with drag and dropping. But drag and dropping alone is not that easy. It's not that easy because we have to take care of something like validations also. Suppose in the first name, if I'm entering like 1, 2, 3, is that accepted? Is it accepted? No. So maybe in the mobile number, if I'm entering like ABC, is it accepted? No. So front end design will be having three major things. First thing here is like we have to take care of alignments, how much percentage it should be. Okay, and maybe here if we wanted to show one small image kind of log off, so how much percentage it should take to the rightmost corner. So everything we have to take care of alignments. Okay, to what, to the left, to the right likewise. And we have to take care of something like percentages of width also. So this should take maybe 50 percentage. Suppose if this screen, if this output I am checking in the 14-inch laptop. Okay, so if that is like 14-inch laptop, it should take according to its percentage, screen percentage. Maybe if I'm trying to check for this output in 108-inch very big TV, just imagine. So it has to take percentages, width in terms of its percentage, screen percentages. So first thing is like alignments. Second thing is like styles or percentages. And next thing is like validations. validations. So all these things will be coming under front-end design. So front-end design, it is easy in PEGA, but don't think like that is that easy. So compared to other technologies, it is 100% easy only. Maybe if I wanted to design this in the traditional way, I have to write a coding for this first name, and I have to write a coding for last name, maybe coding for this age. Okay, and age, if I'm entering something like 20 to 40 only, it should accept. And again, if it is for male, 20 to 40, and maybe if it is for female, maybe 18 to 35. So these kind of conditional based everything we have to take care of. It's not that easy, but compared to other things, it is only. Okay, so designing front end part is completely automated. We are supposed to understand how to drag and drop, extra how to take care of validations, what to be taken care of styles and other things. So consider this one. Okay, so this is our actual PEGA tool. Maybe if I'm having some sample design like this, now my requirement is to include one more text box, maybe for middle name. Consider I can see something like first name and last name, right? So if I wanted to take one more thing, maybe for middle name, or if I wanted to include maybe a button, so for that you can simply drag and drop a button. So I'm trying to include a button. Just save this and just check it in the output. So am I seeing this up button? So how much time we took for this? It's less than a minute. Same small change, if you wanted to do it in the traditional way, it will take minimum 10 minutes. So you have to write coding for the button, and you have to take care of styles also. So it should be showing only after first name. You have to take care of those alignments also. But in PEGA, so as I told you, everything is inbuilt. You have to just understand how to use that. Okay, you have to understand how to implement that. So in interviews, they'll ask you how to implement this requirement. So if I wanted to show one image, how do you do this? Okay, if I wanted to show an image like 30 percentage, what changes you make? So they'll ask you how to implement this requirement, but they'll not ask you respect to coding for that. Okay, fine. So finally, if we wanted to do this kind of front end design, it's very simple. It's very simple. Okay, consider you are having one more button something here like register. Maybe if you are having one more button like register. So what are you doing? As part of this front end screen, we are collecting customer details. That is first thing. And after that, if we click on register, what should happen? Maybe if I'm trying to click on register, what should happen? So if you're trying to register yourself in Amazon, so you'll be getting screen number one, right? Where you'll enter your first name, last name, maybe gender and other important things. And if you click on register, two important things will happen. What are those? First thing, you might get one email. Am I correct? Thank you for registration. So you'll get one email kind of. And second thing, these details should be maintained into database table. Am I correct? Okay, after your registration is done, maybe in the front end it will be showing you login page where you have to enter your username and password. If I'm entering username and password, it has to check whether this is valid or not. So where it has to check? In the backend reference only, database table only. So front end part, we can simply drag and drop buttons or images, whatever it is. Maybe if I have to click on register button, sending one email or sending one SMS or sending one fax or storing details into database table, this is kind of backend work. Am I correct? This is kind of backend work. So front end part is completely inbuilt, and even backend part is also inbuilt. So complete Java based related things, even database related things are also completely included in PEGA. Maybe if my requirement is to send something like email, so its respect to Java coding is already done. So you have to understand what are the names for that. I'll just tell you the name for today. So there will be something with the name like send email notification. By the name itself, we can understand this is something to send an email. Okay, so generally if I click on this button, what should happen? So there should be certain Java code to be executed to send email for respective person. So for that, Java code is completely included. So you can just check for complete Java coding here. You can check for complete Java coding here. You don't understand, you don't require understanding this. No one will ask you, what is this Java code? You need not understand bothering about this also. But you have to think that there is already one automation ready for sending email. That there is already one automation running for sending an SMS. Maybe one automation available for storing details into table. So for every your backend requirement, your backend requirement might be either email sending or storing details into table or sending one or storing details into third party application, whatever it is, whatever your backend requirement, everything is automated. You have to understand what is that respective thing available and how to use it here. That's it. Maybe if I click on this button, can I directly call like send email notification? Enough, right? So I can directly call it like with this name, send email notification, whatever the Java code within that. So that will be executing, and whatever the email ID we enter, so that has to be passed like an parameter. One email will be triggered. That's it. Okay. And similarly, second requirement is to store the details into database table. So generally, if we wanted to interact with database table, it might be storing or it might be pulling out, deleting, whatever it is. If we wanted to deal anything with database table, so it is possible only with SQL queries. Database understands only SQL queries. Database will not understand what is PEGA. Database will not understand Java. It will not understand Python or anything. It will understand only SQL queries. Meaning on this button click, so there should be SQL queries to be executed, interacting with the respective table, storing the details into the table. Am I correct? No, no? If we click on this button, maybe this is my database table. So there should be one SQL query hitting for storing the details there. So here you need not write any SQL query. Maybe in other technologies, if you wanted to achieve the same design, you have to write one SQL query. So select the star from or update or delete, whatever. But in PEGA, as I told you, database part is also completely inbuilt. So front end design is automated. Backend, that is Java part, is completely automated. And even database part is also completely automated. So no one will ask you explain the Java code. So no one will ask you write one SQL query. Okay, no one will ask you to write one style related to that. Okay, you have to understand how to use that. So learning everything from zero is difficult for us, right? And understanding or learning something like automation is more easy. Okay, so finally, PEGA is one automated tool where everything, starting to end, everything is automated. Fine. Now, now let me modify the statement. So far, we are understanding PEGA is used for developing web applications, but PEGA is used for developing internal applications mainly. What is internal application? Consider, consider if I'm going for Citibank. Okay, so I wanted to get one credit card. I'm directly going to Citibank. So if I go to Citibank, there will be employees, right? Counter number one, there will be one employee. Counter number two, counter number three. Am I correct? And in the counter number one, there will be one employee dealing with credit card. And counter number two, there will be employee two dealing with loans. Maybe in counter number three, something like account creation based on employee three. So if I go for a bank, maybe one attender here, he might ask me what is the query. So if I say like I wanted to get one credit card, he will ask me to go to counter number one, right? Maybe for other person, he may ask him to go to counter number two. So what are we understanding? For this one bank, are we having multiple such applications? No, no. So there will be one application maybe for their salary calculation, one application maybe for their attendance report. So we'll be having multiple applications, and these applications only bank employees will be using, right? Am I correct? Or outside Outside customers, will they have access for this? No. So every organization will be having multiple internal applications, and those applications to be accessed only by internal employees and only from their servers. From their server in the sense, can this employee go home and access this application? Can a bank employee access his credit card application from his home? No. So what are we understanding? So these applications are like internal, where to be worked by internal employees only, and that too only from their servers. It's not from home or from anywhere. Okay, fine. So these customers cannot access these applications. And for these customers, if they wanted to learn or if they wanted to know something about these things, they will search in Google, maybe www.citibank.com. So if they are trying to search anything, so they can access like main website, but they cannot access any of these internal applications. Am I correct? Am I correct? So what are we understanding? For every organization there will be one main website and multiple internal applications. So consider the same thing. So for one bank there will be one main website and multiple internal applications, and all these internal applications are to improve the business. Okay, all these are to improve the business. Maybe this application, if we are trying to register 100 customers, just imagine their business is increasing, right? And using this application, if they're trying to register some multiple loan customers, just imagine all these applications are to improve their business. Okay, so consider one more thing. Maybe if you are going for IKEA, so what you will do, maybe you will try to select a few products. After that you go for billing, right? You go for billing. So billing in the sense, there will be one application for that. Okay, there will be one application. After billing is done, maybe if you wanted to have it like home delivery, then you'll go to some other counter, different application will be there. Maybe after that you wanted some kind of refund, so you'll go to one more application. So these applications will be used by their employees only. I cannot directly access that. And these applications are to improve the business. Okay, so every organization will be having n number of internal applications. So let me give you one more example. Consider consider you wanted to book one railway ticket. Okay, you wanted to book one railway ticket, IRCTC railway ticket. Consider what you will do for this. Maybe like Tatkal. Okay, maybe like Tatkal. So Tatkal generally it will be opened at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. Oh, no? Maybe 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. So if you wanted to book a ticket maybe for tomorrow, you will try to open IRCTC website from your laptop, and from sharp 10 o'clock you will try to get one ticket booked. So can we guarantee that 100% confirmation? No, we cannot guarantee. And whole process might take like 2 to 3 minutes time. Okay, so whole process will take like 2 to 3 minutes, and we cannot guarantee 100% confirmation. Correct, right? Maybe if we are trying to directly go for Tatkal counter, directly railway station, and if you are standing in the queue for Tatkal counter, and then if you are trying to book a ticket there, it will not take more than 10 seconds, hardly 1 minute or less than 10 seconds, and that too 100% confirmation is possible. Yes or no? Okay, so what are you understanding? So this application, from here we are trying to book a ticket, and similarly this application. So after you going a counter, will this application be used by you or an employee there? Railway employees only. So they will access this application. Am I correct? And this application, if you ever checked, it will be in the black and white screen. Am I correct? అవునా కదా? So it will be like black and white screen. Okay, so this application look wise it will be different, and this application is also like bit different. So this application, some millions of users from India they'll access. Okay, meaning this should be very colorful. And this application only the internal railway employees. So this application is meant for increasing the number of tickets. It's not meant for making it like looking colorful. So if this application is also made it like looking colorful, this has to be loaded with extra CSS styles or extra like Silverlight technologies, so that load on the application may be increased. Or no? If you're trying to add extra styles and other things, performance might be reduced, right? But this application is not designed for that perspective. This application is just is designed just to increase the business. So however it might be like black and white screen, or there might not be front end part also. So these applications are to be used by internal employees only. So such applications will be trying to improve the business. Okay, so every organization will be having n number of internal applications, and these are to improve the business, and those are called as business processing applications. Business processing applications. And any of the tool, okay, which is to develop these internal applications, this is called as an business processing management tool. Getting my point? So any of the tool which is to design these internal applications, this is to be called as business processing management tool. Shortcut BPM tool. Getting my point? It's like BPM tool. Okay, so PEGA is one such BPM tool where we will be designing internal applications only. So what was our earlier statement? Using PEGA, we will be designing web applications. But now modified statement here is using PEGA, we will be designing internal applications of any organization. So consider IKEA. IKEA will be having one main website, and it will be having 20 internal applications, just an example. So we will be developing these 20 internal applications with PEGA, not this main one, not this main one. Okay, we can use PEGA to design the main web application also, but license issues comes into picture. Okay, so if we are starting a bank, or consider if we are like an Facebook management, so there will be one main Facebook page, fb.com, within which there will be some hundreds of internal applications. So for this internal we use PEGA. If I'm using this main application with PEGA, then management cannot management cannot survive this license cost. So what is this license, how it has to be decided, why it is to be chosen only for internal applications, this will be like separate topic for us. So finally, using PEGA we'll be developing internal applications only. Okay, fine. So clear everyone online? So for everyone clear, right? Offline everyone clear? Online everyone clear? Just tell me.
Sir, I have a question.
What is that? What is that? Someone is asking.
I have a question, sir.
Tell me.
So just now you said that
Hmm.
Facebook have internal hundreds of application and
Every
which will be
organization
divide
will be having internal. Okay, so if I'm
internal
trying to,
application.
yeah, if I'm trying to develop these internal applications, we go for PEGA. This is the statement. If I wanted to design main application with PEGA, because of license cost, no organization will be using PEGA for their main websites. Only for internal websites they will be using. So first major thing here is PEGA license depends upon number of users. Number of users meaning how many people using this PEGA application. So here, maybe if it is like a railway counter, how many people will be using this? Only employees, right? Only employees. Maybe if I am trying to design IRCTC website with PEGA, just imagine worldwide how many customers like us will be using this. Okay, some millions. So license depends upon the number of users. That is the reason main websites will not be developed. Okay, this is one reason. So there will be another type of license also. So in that scenario, even we will be getting restrictions for this also. I'll explain that later. Okay, so is your doubt clear?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So finally, we are understanding that there will be two types of applications, and the main website, whatever we see it like an internet application. Okay, if I'm trying to search for citibank.com, so I can access this from any part of the world, right? Avuna? Any part of the world, even from Australia or Japan or whatever. So this website I can see from any part of the world, meaning this is hosted on internet. And these applications can we see maybe from outside bank at least. So these applications no one can access outside their bank also, meaning these applications will be working only within their server. So these applications we generally call like intranet. Getting my point? Intranet applications. Okay, intranet applications. Suppose if you are working in any college, not working, maybe if you are still studying in any college, maybe like BTech fourth year. Okay, and in that scenario, you will be having access for multiple those applications like bus facility. So today at what time buses are running, you can access that application, right? Maybe how many volumes we are having in our library, you can access that. Maybe your attendance report, you can access that. Okay, once you come out of your college, maybe as like a visitor, you visited your college, can you access these applications? No. So these applications are like intranet only, meaning who are still working there or who are given access, only they can access those. These are called intranet applications, and technically we call it like business processing applications. Okay, and any of the tool, we are having multiple tools, not only PEGA, we are having multiple tools. So any of the tool which is to develop internal applications, those are called, okay, business process management applications, sorry, business management tools. Okay, shortcut is like BPM tool. So PEGA is one such BPM tool. Okay, so now as of now we're understanding what is BPM. Maybe maybe by this time, if you people has if you people have visited something like Naukri, maybe people might be checking in Naukri like how about the PEGA positions. Okay, so there you'll see something like PEGA jobs. Okay, you'll see something related to PEGA jobs, and you'll see something like PEGA PRPC jobs. Chusara, did anyone check this? So you'll somewhere find it like PEGA PRPC also. You'll somewhere find it like PEGA BPM jobs. Okay, and you'll sometimes find it like PEGA CSA jobs, PEGA CWSA jobs. Okay, PEGA CPDC jobs. Okay, PEGA RPA. Okay, you'll find it like these many things, these many things. So we're understanding something about PEGA and something about PEGA BPM. Okay, and other things you'll come to know slowly. So finally, what are we understanding? Whenever you see like a BPM as the word, that is related to our learning only, nothing more than that. So PEGA is one BPM tool. Okay, fine. So finally, PEGA is one BPM tool, and PEGA is providing lot of opportunities for a client. Suppose if we all are starting a bank today, so we wanted to start a bank. Okay, and I want one credit card application. Maybe I want one loans application. Maybe something third one, fourth one. So to design all these things, we choose PEGA. Ante kada? We are the clients now. Maybe we are choosing PEGA. So if I'm choosing PEGA, so PEGA is providing these many extra advantages that we have to understand. We know application development will be very simple, right? So we can straight away design everything like front end part, database part, Java part, everything can be straight away included. Apart from making development easy, PEGA is providing other options also. PEGA is providing other options also. So we are seeing something like reporting or data visualization. What is reporting or what is data visualization? So if I wanted to see raw data in some pictorial form, raw data in some pictorial form. Suppose if I am a railway station master, so there will be one employee dealing with Tatkal tickets. There will be another employee dealing with something like other tickets or whatever. So daily end of the day, as a railway station master, I have to take care of my data in some pictorial form. So how many tickets are issued today? How many are cancelled? How many are still in waiting list? How many are confirmed? So I know I'll be having this complete information in my database. But opening database and looking there, I'm not a technical guy, right? So I don't understand anything about database. I'm a railway station master, that's it. So if we wanted to show that database information in somewhere pictorial form, suppose every one of you will be using smartwatches. Okay, in your smartwatch, there will be something like activity rings, right? How many glasses of water you drank, maybe how many steps you used for today. So you'll be seeing such kind of graphical related data. So maybe this is my database table where I can see like 64 glasses of water, maybe 8,000 steps, 5 hours of sleep. So this is the data available in database. If I'm just getting this data straight away in this tabular form, it will not be that attractive, and it will not be like that user friendly also. So showing the raw data from database in some pictorial form, this is called data visualization or reporting. Getting my point? If I wanted to show this information maybe in kind of circular rings like this, maybe in terms of an bar graphs, okay, maybe in terms of donuts, okay, or maybe in terms of speedometer like this, whatever. So everything is kind of reporting. Generally, if you wanted to go for reporting, we generally go for Tableau. Tableau Winara? We generally go for Tableau software or Power BI. Power BI Winara? Okay. So Tableau or Power BI, what are these doing? So if these these softwares or these tools connected to any application, then whatever the data we have, that will be showing some pictorial form. Okay, but here in PEGA, reporting part is also inbuilt. Reporting part also inbuilt. So as a client, maybe if you're starting a bank like ABC, as a client, if I wanted to design multiple applications, if I choose PEGA, so directly development is made easy. Along with that, reporting is also inbuilt. Suppose if I'm not going for PEGA, I have to develop everything on my own, that is manually. Additionally, I have to get license for Tableau. Additionally, I have to get license for Power BI, and I have to hire developers for that. But here, so by just taking this PyGar tool, you don't require anything Java coding, and you don't require any skills what a Tableau developer is doing there. Straight away, you choose what is the report you want, tabular form or circular rings. Select the options whatever you want, steps, water, or sleep. So it's respect options you select, click on generate report. So that's it. So you'll be getting report directly fetched out, generated. So this is the advantage. Okay. So data visualization part is also inbuilt in PEGA. And one more thing, we are seeing like integrations part also inbuilt. So generally, what is integration? Integration meaning integrating our application with third party application. Okay, suppose consider this one. Suppose consider this one. Maybe this is my bank application. Suppose if I'm an employee somewhere in Citibank. Okay, so if a customer like you coming to me and asking for a credit card, what I have to do? So first I have to check for your CIBIL score, right? Straight away no one will give you credit card. So there will be an application where if I'm a bank employee, I'll ask for your PAN card number. If you say your PAN card number, if I click on search button, say your CIBIL score is 600 or 400 or 800. So based on that, you might get a credit card or you might be rejected. Avuna kada? So if I click on this button, I'm getting this CIBIL score somewhere fetched out. Somewhere in the sense, this data is not like Citibank's. So CIBIL score data is not related to Citibank internal. So this data will be supplied maybe like Government of India. Consider like RBI application, just an example. So once I hit on this 123, that is PAN card number, should reach into third party application, and they have to internally interact with their database, and they have to send back something response for us, right? అవునా కదా? So what are you understanding? This is application 1 and this is separate application. So these two applications are integrating. This is the concept of integrations, where maybe this is developed completely on PEGA, and this might be developed on .NET, right? Maybe this application started 20 years back. By that time, maybe .NET might be the famous one. So they might be having this complete application developed on .NET. So today, for some reasons, we are using PEGA. Now, my application wanted to integrate with this third-party application. So we are using PEGA. Can you please change your design to PEGA? Will you ask this? No. Okay. Since they are develop everything on .NET, so will you be compromising and developing everything on .NET? No. So whatever your backend technologies, we are supposed to integrate between two different applications. This is the concept of integration. This is the concept of integration. So in PEGA, integrations is also completely inbuilt. So completely included in most secured manner and in most easiest way. In most easiest way. Fine. So integrations is also inbuilt. And in PEGA, we are having something like versions also included. What is version? What is version? So consider today you joined one company like CTS. After learning everything about PEGA, what you will do? Maybe you'll join some company, TCS or CTS, whatever it is. And after you joining CTS, CTS management, they will assign you with some client. Initially, you will be on bench maybe for first 1 week or 10 days. Then you will be assigned with some client, right? Maybe Citibank is the client. Okay, maybe Citibank is the client. So your client will be giving you multiple requirements. You are supposed to design screen number 1, maybe screen number 2, whatever it is. Okay, so you are completely designing something like credit card application. In credit card application, what should be the screen number 1, screen 2, screen 3, everything you are designing. So after development is done, what will be the next phase generally? As a developer, once you designed everything, what will be the next phase? It has to be tested. Yeah, so there should be testing team, QA, quality assurance. So testing should happen. Maybe if testing team is identifying some defects, then as a developer, you have to again fix that. అవునా కదా? As a developer, you have to fix that. So then again, it will go for testing team. They will check for one more round of testing. And if everything is fine, if everything is fine, after development, maybe after testing, what will be the next phase? Any idea?
Deploy.
Direct client వెళ్ళిపోతుందా? So maybe as a developer, I'm developing, that has to be first tested. So if testing team is okay giving sign off, so what will be the next phase? It will be like UAT meaning user acceptance testing. Okay, user acceptance testing. So today I'm sitting in some CTS company designing one application maybe for credit card registration, and this application ultimately who has to use? Maybe after 1 year bank employees only has to use, right? అవునా కదా? After 1 year bank employees has to use. So initially we are going for test development, then we have to go for testing, and after that the original bank employees, okay, original users, what we call. So original users coming here and they will be testing it. Okay, original users, they'll come here, that is called user acceptance testing phase. So original users come here and they will check whether everything is as per their requirement or not. So they can say like, we are accustomed to have submit button somewhere to the left side, now it is showing right side, can you please change this to this side or that side? They will give their opinions because ultimately they are the users, right? So they have to use this application very fast. So they should be accustomed with the design what we are doing. So they will come here in somewhere and they will try to check it or they will try to test it, and they will, if they are finding any defects, okay, then again it will have go to development team. Or maybe if they are giving some extra suggestions, it might not be defect, but they might give some extra suggestions, again that has to be done by development team only, right? So whatever it is of development, then QA, then UAT, after that pre-prod, and then production. Production meaning final bank employees or the nurses or whatever it is. So this is what. So finally, what I mean to say here is, as a developer, day one you will develop something, and that has to be going for testing team. If testing team is identifying any defects, it will come back and it has to be reaching again to this one. So whatever this design I have done, one version has to be moving to this initial level of testing. Same thing, I have to create one more second version, maybe for second level of testing. One more third version of my rules or third version of my design, maybe for UAT design. One more version maybe for next phase. One more version maybe for this one. So after we designing something, we are trying to make it into multiple versions. One version for this one version for second one version for next phase. So dividing into different versions is inbuilt in PEGA. Maybe if I'm not going with PEGA, instead I'm designing everything on my own with coding and everything, then what I have to do after development is done? So we have to take license for Tableau and hire a developer for that, and maybe we have to use something extra tools maybe for integrations, and you have to use one more tool. Okay, for versioning generally we use like Team Foundation Server, TFS. విన్నారా ఎప్పుడైనా? So we generally go for Team Foundation Server, that is like third party server versioning, third party versioning tool. So we have to get the license of this, and we have to hire one admin also, or kind of developer or management for that. So we have to hire extra resources for that. But in PEGA, you don't require anything about versioning. Straight away, that is inbuilt in PEGA. You have to understand how to create multiple versions. Versioning is also inbuilt in PEGA. Okay, fine. And once everything like versioning and other things are done, next what we are supposed to do? Ultimately, it has to be reaching to the bank employees, right? So this we call it like production. Okay, this we call it like production. Okay, fine. So maybe if you are finding any defect in the production, it will be like very big escalation. If you are finding any defect in the production, suppose now some offer zone is running out, maybe in Amazon or Flipkart. So if you are waiting till midnight and trying to purchase a product, okay, so expectation is to get some discount for that accordingly, and based on that it has to be delivered. This is what expectation. But maybe if you are trying to apply any credit card, SBI credit card or whatever, expectation is like 10% discount. Suppose if discount is not applied for you, if discount is not applied, so just imagine how big production issue it is. Maybe if I'm trying to click on buy now, if I'm getting a screen like something went wrong, just imagine all these are like production issues. So if any issues identified in the production, then it will be very big escalation for the testing team, not development. Avuna kada? As a developer we have developed everything and we have given it for testing team. Testing team, they have to test it. It is their duty. So if any issue identified, so no one will ask us, no one will ask development team. So if anyone is asking you, you could have said like, so if testing team has identified any defect, so I might have fixed that. Okay, so production issues is what we're trying to understand. Okay, well, that's fine. So what I'm trying to explain here is, if we're trying to move code from one server to another server, that is called deployment phase. That is called deployment. Now in PEGA, deployment is also inbuilt, moving from one server to development server to testing server, testing to UAT server, from their production server. So this kind of deployment is also inbuilt in PEGA. Maybe if we are not using PEGA for deployment, we have to use DevOps tools. In our DevOps, so DevOps is nothing but for deployment only. But in PEGA, DevOps, that is like deployment part, is also inbuilt. Maybe if you don't want to use this inbuilt one, if you wanted to link our application with extra DevOps tools also, that is possible. External connections are also possible. Okay, fine. So finally, what I mean to say here is, in PEGA, everything, everything starting from design to deployment, everything is inbuilt. Meaning PEGA is providing end-to-end solution to the customer. PEGA is providing end-to-end solution to the customer. Suppose if I wanted to design one application, just to get PEGA license, that's it. You need not go for extra Tableau license. You not go for integration extra. You don't go for DevOps, or you don't go for versioning. So everything is inbuilt in PEGA. So that is how automation is done. All these are very very important advantages for the client. Okay, so if client is having these many advantages, just imagine all the projects will start on PEGA only now. Even PEGA projects count is also huge today. Okay, so remaining things I'll explain tomorrow. Okay, so what are the advantages, and there are like 4 to 5 extra slides to be discussed. Post that we'll continue with the next level of discussion. So in today's class we're just understanding what is PEGA. Okay, what is PEGA and what we can do with PEGA, to what level it is automated. So these kind of basic things only we understood. And tomorrow, maybe in the first half, we'll try to complete the remaining part, and then we'll understand something like extra